Alright, this is the second part of the video that I released on Tuesday. These are going through the top part of the bosses, and the reason why I did this part next is usually this is the part where most guilds will go after they killed the bosses, so I did it in order of how you would normally see the bosses. So starting off with this boss, there's not a lot I can remember changing if I did this fight again on normal. Mostly it comes down to is a shadow. We've got quite a lot of movement in our CDs in the sense that we can start a step and also we can do a lot of instant cast back to back. So that leads us into a place where we're actually in a good position for this fight, because if we need to move a lot, it theoretically won't like lower our DPS. As you see, we have these rings and they come out periodically, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, the constant movement in that scenario was fine. The best advice I can give to someone playing Shadow when it comes to this fight would be really try to stay as close as you can to the boss, unless you've got a mechanic similar to that one where you should be skipping. And besides that, I'd say besides those beams, try and save as many as of your like cooldown reductions. Your defensives as you can. And that's about it. I think that's the last part of this boss I want to talk about, because it's a very simple boss. It's just it is a boss where you need obviously a lot of good healers. Like you can see, we've got quite a lot of our healers doing a lot of damage, a lot of healing, and it seems very straightforward. Just saying, like, watch out and try and get into the circles as well as fast as you can. But that's more a general tip than a tip just for Shadow. See, right here, I'm running away, but then I made a decision. Okay, I need to actually go further away. Still got buff. All right. Also, I ran most of this raid without the Weaker because I forgot to download it that you need for the raid. But that's about it. That's kind of how the fight goes. Alright, going on to Pantheon. Pantheon's a hard fight I found playing Shadow, because in normal there's not really a lot going on with the amount of ads you see. I think on Heroic and Mythic, Shadow actually will be doing significantly more damage for the class. And also, the only tip I can really give is as Shadow, since we kind of like ramp our damage, pick on an ad that normally gets left last, and that's to use your CDs on, because that's really the hard part of this phase is the ads. And yeah, and what was it? Also, in this phase, since we can usually have a lot of Insanity and maybe even Devouring Plague going into the next transition of the boss, I would be very wary of immediately dotting up ads, because I think you might see these pills that my guild tanks kind of will do one taunt and that's about it. So as you can see, my threat's kind of building up for a second, but I clear a good tank, so they pulled it again. And yeah, this is quite this fight seems pretty relaxed. It's an interesting fight, but nothing too hard or normal. And you can say that about most fights are normal. And Shadow seems... Oh, also be wary about using Vampiric Embrace. Where is it? When you have the seeds. Do you see the seeds? Anyway, with the seeds, because you might heal them a bit faster than you would like in the group. That's about it. And this is probably my favorite fight, but it sucks with Shadow, because in normal the eyes don't die fast enough. There's a lot of movement and there's a lot of far movement, and usually the way I like to think of Shadow is that we can do a lot of movement and we can do things quite easily as long as we can plan them out so we know what's going on, whereas other classes can do movement regardless, like Boomkins and Hunters, and some just can't do it at all. So in this time, usually it'd be better if you stand further to the side. They're closer to where my bars are. And this was also pre-buff. Yeah. So you see, I kind of put myself on the side so I can move quite easily, and then that also leaves it so pushback doesn't really affect me again. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole fight. It's a very simple fight. These ones on normal, they're quite relaxed, I found, even though some of them have been buffed. But even so, it's quite important that you know where to be standing. Your position in this fight matters a lot more than anything else. Also, I didn't realize you could be dotting up both of these. I think even though the boss might be taking reduced damage, it is still enough for insanity generation for us. So yeah, and also just in general, keeping our dot damage when we do go into it, we can have Devouring Plagues and similar things. So is there anything else on these fights that I would recommend for Shadow in particular? Saving. Oh, important when you get into a scenario, I think, where you might trigger a lot of bombs, make sure you use your big 3-minute CD, because with the movement speed you're in less of the damage, the like puddles on the ground, and also you get a movement speed buff. Also you can cut very close, it looks like. And yeah, I think that's the rest of the fight. It's quite a long fight, not too much going on. I think if you know your group is going to be getting a lot of these ads most of the time and they're not dying quick enough, it would be advised to go for more of an AoE based build, but still having the strong single target that Shadow has. So that's it. These were my favorite fights. I think if I had to rank them, I can't remember any of these names. I think this was my favorite one, then possibly Lumina because that's tier, and Prototype Pantheon is pretty relaxing and easy. So that's it. Short video, but these are the last bosses. I didn't get an Anduin clip because I forgot. So yeah, hope this helped. Enjoy. See you next time. Make sure you like and subscribe.